Hello, Hi Esoterica viewers. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the energy for the last 2 weeks of November 2025 for the collective, and I'll be using Wyspell's Wild Reflections Tarot deck. I set the intention for an amazing reading for the collective energies for these last 2 weeks of November 2025. How does that start? Ooh. 2, 3, 4. What's happening in the middle of this third week? Whoa. I will allow one more card for how this week ends. How does this third week of November end? Just one card. That one popped up face up. Okay, we're at the last week of November. How does that begin? All right, in the middle of this last week of November. Ooh, that almost jumped. Okay, and how does this last week of November end? Anything else for the ending of November 2025 for the collective? All right. It's interesting, these two cards that jump face up. It's been a while since I've seen so many cards actually face down. Very nice. Let's see what we got. This is the third week of November 2025, and this is the fourth week of November 2025, the energy for the collective. Regardless of whether you see cards upright or reversed, we all have the ability to pull from either energy. It depends on how you feel and how you are perceiving your life and your day and your life experience. I will remind you that energy, regardless of it being where it's sitting, energy moves at its own speed. Sometimes it comes in fast, sometimes it moves slowly, and it will linger. In fact, some cards will show up again from previous months, meaning that we're not done with those energies and they are still in our energetic vibrations, in our energy fields, and influencing all of us. Major arcana cards are going to have more of an overarching theme, whereas minor arcana cards are more of the day-to-day energies. If you're new to my channel, I always read the definitions given by the author and the artist before I give my own messages, as well as channel any other additional messages that come through during the reading. Let's begin with the first day of the third week of November. This is the energy of the collective, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, and she is a major arcana card. I'm going to read the reversed of this card first because it is appearing reversed. Bad luck, lack of control, clinging to control, unwelcome changes, delays. When the wheel is reversed, it means the luck has not been on your side and misfortunes have been following you. When it is associated with this card, you must understand that these are due to external influences that you cannot control. What you shouldn't do, however, is cling to the illusion of control. Perhaps in this turn of the wheel, the lesson is to learn to let go and release. You need to wait for the Wheel of Fortune to turn in your direction. In the upright meaning of this card, change, cycles, fate, decisive moments, luck, fortune, unexpected events. The Wheel of Fortune turns evermore, seemingly to communicate that life is made up of both good and bad times, and that the cycle is one that we cannot control. Rapid change will bring new opportunities, and it will make your life better. New circumstances can put an end to past difficulties and herald a period of good fortune and success. The Wheel of Fortune often is associated with luck and fate. Regardless of what the author said, you always have control of what is coming into your life. Don't just give it to the Wheel of Fortune, because you control what energy you put out and what energy will come back to you. And that's really the beauty of the Wheel of Fortune, is that we get to see how our positive thinking propels us forward in life in a positive way. But if you have doubts and fears that come in sometimes, they'll also show that too. Let's move on to the Ace of Pentacles. This is also reversed, so I'm going to read that first. Missed chances, scarcity, deficiency, instability, stinginess, bad investments. The Ace of Pentacles reversed indicates that the asker may feel they are experiencing delays with their projects, a new business, or in their personal life. It may seem that things are not moving forward in the way they envisioned. Furthermore, the Ace of Pentacles reversed suggests that the asker should be cautious with budgeting at this time and avoid taking an extra financial obligation. It is advisable to live within their means and avoid making large purchases for the time being. In the upright position, new opportunities, resources, abundance, prosperity, security, stability, manifestation. The Ace of Pentacles represents abundance, financial prosperity, and manifestation. This card tells the asker to take initiative and act on new projects, businesses, or initiatives aligned with their values. The Ace of Pentacles can also indicate the beginning stages of a relationship with a person or with many people who may subsequently open the door to future financial prosperity for you. That's really exciting. If you go back and watch the previous first 2 weeks of November, you'll see that second week, I remember that there was energies coming in, new ideas, and a lot of wands energy. So a lot of creation energy that was influencing those first 2 weeks. And Pentacles actually showed up in that second week of November. So it's more Pentacles, more resources. So very interesting. The next card is a major arcana, and it's Strength. And Strength also appeared in October. Strength, it's upright, so I'm going to read that first. Courage, bravery, confidence, compassion, self-confidence, inner power. When you get the Strength card in an upright manner during your tarot reading, it shows that you have inner strength and fortitude during moments of danger and distress. Getting the Strength card means that you are a very patient individual who is likely to accomplish anything that they put their mind to. Your resilience will greatly aid you, and your fearlessness means that you should have no issue speaking your mind. In the reverse energy, self-doubt, weakness, low confidence, inadequacy, cowardice, forcefulness. A reverse Strength card can mean that you are, or about to, experience intense anger or fear in your life. You seem to be lacking the inner strength that this card normally represents, meaning you might be experiencing fear and a lack of conviction and confidence in your own abilities. Now you should reconsider the situation. Perhaps you are trying to achieve a goal that is not within your control at the moment. To be successful, you need to overcome your guilt, doubts, and fears. I like to see Strength as grace. And in this imagery, there's this lion representing a very large, big situation, event, idea, and you as this person interacting with this potentiality of something big. How are you going to approach it? How are you going to go forward and manage whatever this opportunity is that's right in front of you? You don't have to be afraid of it, but you do need to tap into your own inner knowledge, inner wisdom, inner strength. You obviously got to this point, and now this opportunity is presented to you. So you have everything that you need to definitely go forward. So that's a beautiful card. The Knight of Cups comes up next, and it is upright. The Knight of Cups, upright, idealistic, charming, artistic, graceful, tactful, diplomatic, mediator, negotiator. The Knight of Cups represents romance, creativity, and beauty. This card is a sign that you may be moving forward with a creative project you have intuitively felt compelled to manifest. This card can also serve as a reminder to be vulnerable and express love to those around you. Although it can feel scary to bare our soul, this bravery will allow for greater intimacy and connection. That's beautiful. And that's exactly what the energies that you need, that inner strength, that bravery to go through this opportunity to be successful in it. In the reversed energies of the Knight of Cups, disappointment, tantrums, moodiness, turmoil, avoiding conflict, vanity. Don't be too passive and don't be influenced by others. There is a risk that you may be misled, so it's important to consult an impartial person. Make sure that you are not deceived or being taken advantage of. This card encourages the asker to take a step back and find a way to release the heavy emotions they are carrying. They are invited to take a deeper look at their needs and feelings before jumping to conclusions. Also, good advice. The Sun, another major arcana card. This is reversed, so I'll read that first. Blocked happiness, excessive enthusiasm, pessimism, unrealistic expectations, conceitedness. In the reverse position, this card indicates that you might have significant difficulties finding positive aspects to certain situations. On the other hand, it might indicate that you are being unrealistic. It could be a sign that you have an overly optimistic perception of certain situations. In the upright energy of the Sun, happiness, success, optimism, vitality, joy, confidence, truth. Sun card represents success, abundance, and radiance like the sun itself. It gives strength and vitality to all those who are lucky enough to feel its rays. There is much joy and happiness coming your way. The Sun card shows that you have a significant sense of deserved confidence right now. Life is particularly good, and the sun is shining your way as you reach the goals that you have set. I do love the upright energy of the Sun card. And if you're feeling it's now clouded, the reversed energy of the Sun, you can move that away. You can move those perceptions away and really tap into your inner joy, your inner happiness, and follow that excitement to lead you to positive outcomes. The next card, the Emperor, another major arcana card. In the reverse, since he is upside down right now, tyrant, domineering, rigid, stubborn, lack of discipline, recklessness. Absurd authoritarian power in your social life. It can manifest in the overreach of power from a father figure or a possessive partner. There is a possibility that the Emperor reversed can indicate a lack of self-control and an ability to handle situations on a personal level. The structures, rules, and systems that he creates may no longer work, leading to chaos and disorder. In the upright energy, stability, structure, protection, authority, control, practicality, focus, discipline. It's all about control when it comes to the Emperor, as this card represents authority, regulation, organization, and fatherliness. The Emperor symbolizes a strategic thinker who sets out plans that he must see through. When you see him in a reading, a possible interpretation is that you could be put in charge of something important. It could be a position at work or in any kind of organization or institution that desperately needs order and a clear, decisive mind. This is a reading for the collective. So just because of what you are feeling and what you are tapping into, you might see representations of these energies and how other people in your influence, sphere of influence, or even on the world stage, how they're going to use these energies and how they're going to behave. So it also helps you to better your opportunities, knowing what energies are out there for all of us and affecting all of us. The last card for this third week of November is the Ten of Swords reversed. Survival, improvement, healing, lessons learned, despair, relapse. The Ten of Swords reversed indicates the asker is having a hard time moving on after a recent betrayal or loss. They have repressed their sadness about the situation and may be holding on to resentment or anger. This card can also mean the clouds are finally parting and better days lie ahead. There is an opportunity to make a major breakthrough and enter a new phase of life that is more peaceful and fulfilling. In the upright energy, ending, betrayal, pain, strength, resilience, hope. The Ten of Swords upright represents an ending, but not just any ending. This is an ending that is painful and full of betrayal. However, the man in the card is not showing despair. He is showing strength and resilience. He is still standing, even though he has been stabbed in the back. This is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. The Ten of Swords upright is a difficult card, but it is not a hopeless card. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a new beginning. Tens are going to be completion and expansion. Nines would be like it's time to harvest or 9 months of pregnancy. And when you get to 10, it's definitely completed. You're moving on. So in the Nine of Swords, it was a lot of the sword thoughts and how they were just on their mind, keeping them awake at night, not able to sleep. In the Ten of Swords, it is all of the thoughts are now, they're embedded in this person. But I like the reversed Ten of Swords because I like to think that now that you've faced all of these thoughts, you're facing them and you realize they're just thoughts. Now all of these bad ideas, nightmarish thoughts, betrayals, whatever that energy is, it is just leaving. It is on its way out. It is done and you have learned and you have grown and you now have the skill to not let this happen ever again. So we end this third week with a lot of growth. Thought about all of our ideas, whether they were good or bad, and making better decisions going forward. We're not allowing the Emperor to be chaotic in our lives. We're going to be stable and we're going to tune into that energy. We're going to have this beautiful hope of the sun and it's going to light our way in whatever our journey is. I like that we have the Wheel of Fortune. We get to decide with every turn of that wheel, whatever energy you put out is what's going to come back. So always keep putting out that positive energy. In the Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles and Aces. Aces are gifts. They're new and are you ready for that? And you're going to be ready. You're going to know if you're ready by what you have put out in the past because it's going to show up in your present. And what you put out in the present is what's going to show up in your future. So always keep that in mind and know that you have everything that you need to accomplish anything. Just keep that inner strength and calm and following love cups are your emotions. Just staying stable in your mind, that calm, that peace, that love in your heart. You'll have everything that you need to be the sun, to be the loving emperor who is ready to take command and be in control in a loving, caring way and not allow any of these sword thoughts to hurt you, to hinder you in any way. Let's move on to this last week of November, starting with the Six of Wands. It is upright, success, victory, triumph, rewards, recognition, praise, acclaim, pride. The Six of Wands represents achievement, public recognition, and self-confidence. This card reminds the asker to embrace their gifts, talents, and successes fully. It is okay to let their light shine bright and share their achievements with others and the world. This card also tells them to believe in themselves. We all were born with a unique life purpose, and those dreams would never have been given to us if we were not meant to achieve them. Oh, that's really pretty. In the reversed, failure, lack of recognition, no rewards, lack of achievement. Six of Wands reversed reminds the asker to stay focused on their own journey without being swayed by society's metrics of success. They may have recently achieved something important to them, which may not be considered significant by others. The Six of Wands reversed may also signify that the asker has been experiencing a loss of confidence or self-belief. They are encouraged to reflect on their growth and what they have overcome. And they definitely overcame whatever that was. So amazing, absolutely amazing. You're still standing and you're moving forward and you're manifesting stability. The Four of Swords. It is upright. Rest, relaxation, peace, sanctuary, recuperation, self-protection, rejuvenation. The Four of Swords represents reflection, solitude, and recuperation. If the asker has recently been going through a period of hard work, this card indicates that they need time for rest and self-care. The asker is encouraged to take a moment to step back from their daily life by planning a weekend getaway, doing a social media detox, or incorporating mindfulness practices into their routine. In the reversed energy, recovery, awakening, re-entering the world, release from isolation, restlessness, burnout. The reversed Four of Swords, much like the upright meaning, is a sign that the asker needs to take time off to rest and recharge. They have been experiencing frantic energy and may be feeling very stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. This card reminds us that we are of no service to anyone if we are running on empty. The asker is encouraged to take a moment to step back from their daily life by planning a weekend getaway or incorporating mindfulness practices into their routine. Again, said it twice. Go within, meditate, do something beautiful for yourself. And I like that this guy is sitting here, relaxing under a shady tree in the Nine of Wands. Last stand, persistence, grit, resilience, perseverance, close to success, fatigue. The Nine of Wands represents boundaries, resilience, and courage. The asker may be feeling worn down by life's tribulations, or as though they cannot catch a break. The Nine of Wands reminds us to courageously stand firm in who we are, protect our boundaries and what we have built. It is a time to stay true to oneself and to practice the word no. Yeah, because you probably still need to rest. In the reversed energy, stubbornness, rigidity, defensiveness, refusing compromise, giving up. The Nine of Wands reverse signifies that the asker may be confining themselves with limiting beliefs or victim stories. The asker has been feeling that life is against them and perceives they have been dealt a bad hand. The Nine of Wands may also be a sign that we are closer than we think to a positive outcome. Perhaps the asker feels they are in the middle of the woods and cannot see the finish line. The Nine of Wands is definite completion. It's your boundaries. And coming after the Four of Swords, time to rest. Time to rest. The High Priestess in the middle of our week, this last week of November, Major Arcana card, and she is upright. Unconscious, intuition, mystery, spirituality, higher power, inner voice. The meaning of the High Priestess is related to inner knowledge. Her appearance in a reading can signify that it is time for you to listen to your intuition, rather than prioritizing your intellect and conscious mind. The High Priestess represents someone who is intuitive and beginning to open up to their spirituality. Meditation, prayer, new spiritual work are indicated. In the reversed energy, repressed intuition, hidden motives, superficiality, confusion, cognitive dissonance. When it comes to the High Priestess reversed, it can mean that you are finding it difficult to listen to your intuition. It is time for you to meditate and try a new approach. For at this moment, the rational approach will not work. You must never be afraid to ask questions of yourself that may illuminate a new path forward for you, one that is more authentic to your inner self and your individual values. The High Priestess, she sits at the gateway to all the knowledge, all the wisdom, and if you tap into your inner knowing, you become this High Priestess, and in that inner knowing, you will know how to go forward to success in your own life. The Eight of Swords. Trapped, restricted, victimized, paralyzed, helpless, powerless, imprisonment. You may act like your own worst enemy because you fear the future and resist the new. You may feel that circumstances limit you, but there are more serious limitations in your life due to the fact that you refuse to see the real state of affairs. The most important step is releasing limiting beliefs, especially feelings of victimization at the hands of others, or a sense of unworthiness due to recent events. Remember, the situation is not as bad as you may imagine. In the reversed, freedom, release, taking control, survivor, facing fears, empowered, surrender. Now you can free yourself from limitations, overcome fears and worries. The pressure that has been put on you all this time is easing. You now have a clearer understanding of what is around you and can deal with whatever is hindering your progress. Once you have conquered your fears, you can start over. There is no more obstacles and the path is clear. Now is the time for self-affirmation and rejection of the restrictions that others impose on you. There is a way out of this situation. That's very interesting. And it's followed by the 9 of Swords. So we've learned this lesson to not get to this point again. The 9 of Swords upright: fear, anxiety, negativity, breaking point, despair, nightmares, isolation. The 9 of Swords represents anxiety, worry, and limiting beliefs. The asker may be experiencing sleepless nights over a situation or could be in a period of depression. The 9 of Swords reveals that we have the power to make a change in our mindset. The asker is encouraged to reach out for support and examine the root cause of their feelings. The situation is not as bad as it appears, and things will soon improve. There's definitely a progression of whatever these thoughts were to these thoughts. In the reversed, recovery, learning to cope, facing life, finding help, shame, guilt, mental health issues. You may still experience the consequences of a difficult situation, but the pain is already subsiding. Your imagination, however, still points the current situation in a much worse way than it really is. You needlessly get upset and worried without any reason. The reverse 9 of Swords brings a message of hope, offering faith in a brighter future and promising better days ahead. In this position, the card offers relief from pain and suffering, providing a sense of comfort and healing. You've already dealt with your fears and negative thinking before. You successfully got through it, and you can do it again. Thoughts are they're not real. They're not real unless you make them real. Don't do that. Think positively. See the solutions. Don't get stuck in the negative thinking, because that spiral will not show you a solution on the way out. Instead, focus on something positive and what the outcome is, what the goal is, and then kind of work your way back. It's kind of a nicer way to deal with a whole lot of negative thinking that just gets you nowhere. The Ace of Cups is how we're going to end this November. And that is a beautiful, beautiful card, and definitely healing from these swords and this tiredness over here. It is upright, love, new feelings, emotional awakening, creativity, spirituality, intuition. The aces indicate new beginnings. The Ace of Cups represents love, renewal, emotional well-being, and creative expression. It's a beautiful card that signifies a period of connection and fulfillment. The Ace of Cups represents a positive flow of energy and camaraderie. It can also indicate a mutually beneficial friendship that brings happiness and deep emotional satisfaction. In the reversed, coldness, emptiness, emotional loss, blocked creativity, feeling unloved, gloominess. When the Ace of Cups is reversed, it can signal that the current feels an emotional blockage. They may be going through a period where they are repressing emotions or having trouble expressing themselves to a loved one or creatively. This card also signifies that the current should take time to engage in activities they love to get their creativity and joy flowing again. It is a time to practice self-love, self-expression, and connect with their intuition. That is an incredibly beautiful way to end November. And when you think about it, the next month is December, and there's holidays and there's gatherings and wonderful things to look forward to, and a whole new year in 2026. 2025 has been quite the year of so much new, powerful energy that it's caused us all to shift and become different people than we ever were before. And so many different ideas coming from so many just different sources is inspiring, but it is also, some people find it scary. So it is really about your personal journey and how you are going to use all of the energies that are presented to all of us every day and how you're going to call them in to work for you, to manifest the life that you want, and to know that you might find these energies interacting with others in the collective and how they are going to show it in their own life, how they're going to experience these energies. So we can all help each other by calling in the positive energies for ourselves and inspiring others to also find their way to the positive energies that are available. I'm going to pull a card from the Pleiadian Oracle, just in case we get any additional clarity. The author for the Pleiadian Oracle is Flo Karuna, and the cover artwork is by Bruce Harmon. I set the intention for clarity for the collective for the last 2 weeks of November 2025. Just need one card. Ooh, there it is. Timeline jump. Held back from most of the human populace is the deeper reality that you are a fully multi-dimensional being in truest form. Your soul resides in a multiverse with infinite possibilities and timelines available. When one becomes conscious of these subtle fields, they gain the ability to consciously leap into other timelines that best serve their evolution and happiness. The quantum field is where one experiences a true freedom and empowerment to know that all of consciousness is liquid and one is never stuck anywhere. Timeline jumping is not just some lingo out of a sci-fi movie, but a backed truth by many of your Earth quantum scientists who understand multiverses and the infinite possibilities of this universe we reside in. When the timeline jump card arrives, it indicates that you do not need to stay on your present timeline, for you reside in a multiverse of infinite possibilities. Now is a great moment to activate your natural timeline jumping skills and quantum leap onto the Earth of your choosing. Recognize that you are a timeline jumper, and through your vibratory match, you will naturally cross over into other multiverses that match your frequency. Know that you are never stuck, and Source always provides infinite roads. Additional meanings, freedom, options, movement, change of plans. Moving on, new life, new beginnings. Quantum field. Really beautiful, really exceptional. I love that the sun just came in and blasted this whole tarot spread. Anyway, that is a really nice card, actually. And it goes so well with knowing that no matter what comes up and how it makes you feel, if it makes you feel tired or trapped or stuck in a lot of negativity, you can jump to a timeline with positive Ace of Cups and gifts and even a more positive Ace of Pentacles and the positive side of this outcome with this situation and the lion, and be the hopeful sun and let the sun shine on your journey and your life. We all have it within us to get to the reality that we are most in alignment with. And the way you do that is truly how you think, how you feel, how you are experiencing this life. And you make micro decisions every single day, and you shift little by little towards what those decisions become in your reality. That's how we all create reality. I was inspired to use this deck, the Pleiadian Oracle, from the energy channeling that I did for this month and all of the beautiful gifts that are about to come to us from, I want to say, the Pleiadians. I was just really called to this deck, and they are the ones who are most associated with this three-eye atlas right now. I don't know. I can only intuitively say that everything that I've channeled has been telling us that help is coming and that we are all starseeds. We are all light workers, and we are all ascending to this amazing awakening to have an even better experience on this life journey, on all of our life journeys. And I wish you the very best life journey use this information to get you to your best, highest timeline and live the best version of you. I thank you so much for watching, for liking, subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye for now.